This is the program that gives your business a technological edge in the 21st century. It's The Edge of the Web with your host, Aaron Sparks.
You're back with Edge of the Web from Site Strategics. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. Tell you what, still want to continue with the big news of this month. 2 weeks ago, there was an update to the algorithm of Google that has caused a little bit of concern. Now, Google regularly updates their algorithm. The algorithm is a measurement tool of how to actually effectively rank one website as opposed to the other. And really, that's the meat of internet marketing in a lot of ways. Internet marketing getting a top of the true results of Google. Google actually put together an update on the 25th of April that shook out some things and actually did some damage to some sites that didn't need that damage. The web spam filter affected negatively some good, positive websites.
Sure.
Admire your handiwork. Touring the riot scene. Gravely assessing the devastation. Things change.
Things changed a lot for a heck of a lot of websites, and we monitor all of these, a good number of sites on a regular basis, our clients, and we saw some shakeup happen, and good sites are starting to snap back into place, but they did get some hits. The whole point was they were trying to filter web spam, meaning some link schemes. There's black hat and white hat SEO. Okay, just the old cowboys in India. You got the black hat SEO, which was some malicious type of SEO, word stuffing. They were doing a lot of fabricating of credibility, and this was Google's attempt to smack that down. So we want to give you some tips on how to actually recover from the Google update. Now, you may not even know whether or not you actually suffered from the update itself. One of the best ways to find out is if you have a webmaster monitoring the web traffic, specifically Google Analytics, which is a free service, you can actually compare the traffic. Right. You can compare before and after, seeing if anything had died off, substantially dropped. You can also, if somebody's monitoring your web ranks, you can actually do a compare and contrast to see the different movement up or down of the particular positions that you had. But let's say that you did get hit with the Google update. We're going to go through some points real quick about some basic principles. We talked a lot last show about these principles and also working with Google Webmaster guidelines that they publish of how you're supposed to groom your content. We're going to talk a little bit more about practical application as you for owning a website and putting together regular content, what you should do. What's the first thing out of the gate that we should be looking at from a concept, John?
We need to be looking at our keyword rankings right off the bat, and if you're not tracking your keyword rankings, you need to right away.
That's right.
Using Google's free tools, which is Google Webmaster, google.com/webmaster. Yep. It allows you to plug in your sitemap, and not to get too mired in the geek speak, but a sitemap every website should have a sitemap, and it's basically a blueprint for your building or your website.
That's right.
And you're telling Google your blueprint so it knows all the rooms in the house and it can easily find your site. You want to make sure that that's there. Going through Google Webmasters, it actually shows you what it's seeing wrong with your site.
That's right, and it will tell you if there's any type of crawl errors. Now, I talk about crawl. What in the world is a crawl on your website?
A crawl. Well, actually, the kind of geek speak is like search engines use spiders to crawl through the website or links of the internet, and that's how they can actually map out the internet and link each of the websites and figure out, how it does is part of its algorithm. That's basically just a big 50,000
Sure.
foot.
So basically, the point is that if you're having any crawl errors, for example, let's say you just rebuilt a website, right? And there are some links that are coming from other websites tying to some old pages that you don't have anymore.
Right.
Google's still paying attention to those links and is coming over to your website saying, hey, I can't find this page. You're not really grooming your site the best way. You're not taking care of your own housekeeping.
Yeah.
So it's a negative impact. It's not incredibly dramatic, but you need to make sure that the pages that are out there are linked appropriately. And if you have any missing links, you need to repair those and be able to do certain things to tell the search engines that, hey, we're a tight ship here. We've got all the information. On top of that, whenever you actually post out content, if you're doing a blog, if you're adding new pages, update that sitemap regularly. It's your main point of dialogue, of communication to a search engine, and they value that update, that information, because what you're doing is really doing a heck of a lot of work for them, so they don't have to digest and spider through and digest the entire site regularly to get an idea of what your content's all about. Okay?
And if you use WordPress for your content management system, which is what we implement for all our clients, we have plugins that are available to actually submit that sitemap daily.
That's right. Another recommendation is get the social sharing. Say that 3 times fast. So the social sharing buttons on all of your pages. If you don't have that, there are free tools to be able to apply that in code to be able to give the ability to people to share your content. Okay?
Right.
This is one of the basic principles that we talked about a few shows back. But there has been a study from Bright Edge that stated that social sharing buttons actually make your content 7 times more visible to not only search engines, but also other communities where people are actually seeing this content.
Right.
All right. Another point, which was very, very interesting. This is one of the major things through this update was removing all exact anchor text links when possible. What's a text link?
A text link is, so for instance, you're providing a link. A lot of us just copy and paste the URL or the address of the website, but what a text link or anchor text is what it actually, instead of, you can actually choose that title of the link, and people will put the keywords that they're that they think that page represents in that anchor text to actually give Google kind of, this is what it's about.
Like an introduction.
Yeah, and it was a great way of doing things. Well, some people took it too far, and some people started spamming it to where they just put the same keywords in every link. Doesn't matter what it was. And Google now is debunking that.
And it's actually maturing. And I like the thought here is that if you've got 80 to 90% of the links saying that are coming into your website. These are inbound links from other websites, and the anchor text in that hyperlink says a 3-word phrase, and it's exactly the same phrase. Google's looking at that as you're gaming the system. Naturally, you should have different types of descriptions tied to different pages, but different types of phraseology on how to reference your own website. Even to the degree of having a click here for more information. You need to have a balance, kind of like a well-balanced meal. Don't promote all of this on a regular basis for one particular phrase. You're going to get smacked down.
Yeah.
Refresh the homepage often, right? Refresh that homepage content.
Right.
With the content management system, it's relatively easy.
We get bored of looking at the same thing. It's important to keep it fresh.
And so does it. So does Google, right?
Yep.
Edit and optimize all major page titles and descriptions so they're not keyword stuffed.
Right.
So they are a good deal unique. You get the understanding that they're wanting to see good, organic, non-spammy pages across the board, right?
Right.
If you have a blog, don't make it a blog.yourdomain.com. Put it in a subdirectory so it's a natural fit, okay? And more importantly, one of the most important pieces is what?
It's the site architecture and how it's formed. But
that's right.
The most important, is creating a mobile version of your site. Everybody's using mobile. You need to be there if you're not already.
Mobile websites, absolutely.
Yeah.
And with content management systems, it gives you the ability to quickly switch content based on the browser that's coming to you. So your smartphone is going to have you can have a different interface than your regular website. So smartphone users can easily access your content.
Yeah.
Google cares about multiple devices now, so make sure the site works on all of them.
And it doesn't have to be the entire website. It needs to be mobile. We're just talking about the ability for your leads to be able to email you, network to your social networking sites.
Yep.
Those simple things need to be applied for the mobile version.
That's right. Well, last pieces are don't use link exchanges, reciprocal links anymore. Organic links, inbound one-way links are good.
Yeah.
Create supplemental content for pages like shopping guides for particular products. Even use a video sitemap if applicable. You know what? There's a lot more tips that we can provide you. Contact us at sitestrategics.com, 877-SEO for web, or 877-736-4932. You're listening to News Talk 1430 WXMT, Edge of the Web. We'll talk to you real soon.